Hey everybody, Dr. Moose here. So the first muscle that we're actually going to focus on for Muscle Monday is actually the hamstring. So the hamstring is one of those problematic issues in a lot of people. A lot of people are always like, oh, my hamstrings are so tight. I've got, issues with my hamstrings. I can't get them open. Well, what most people don't realize is that the hamstring actually is related to the large intestine meridian. And so typically in our Western society, the large intestine takes a beating just because of like diet, lifestyle, those kind of things that go along with the typical lifestyle in America. And so, if you have symptoms of like gas, constipation, bloating, diarrhea, or alternating constipation, diarrhea, those kind of things, that can actually mean that there's something going on in your digestive tract. If you're not, having like at least a couple good bowel movements a day, then your large intestine may be a little bit inflamed or stagnant. And so one of the things we want to talk about now is some of the things that we see that actually can be helpful in improving the inflammation in that meridian, and actually therefore helping to like kind of alleviate some of the symptoms that we see in the hamstring. So first off is typically a lot of people are going to have what we would call like dysbiosis, or a lot of people have an overgrowth of just dysbiosis basically means an overgrowth of too much bad bacteria, not enough good bacteria. So one of the first things in kind of controlling inflammation in the large intestine meridian is using things that can actually help to knock down the bad stuff or the inflammation in there. And so we like herbs like oregano oil, we like black walnut, olive leaf, artemisia, mimosa, like a number of herbs like that can actually be really anti-inflammatory to the large intestine meridian, and therefore have a nice anti-inflammatory effect on the total body, and then also on the hamstrings. And so we've actually seen a lot of people with the bilateral hamstring tightness that if you just give them some herbs and stuff that actually help to control inflammation in that area, that it naturally starts to let those hamstrings kind of relax on their own. And so, and then after that, if there's been long-standing, too much bad bacteria, oftentimes there can be damage to the gut. A lot of people have probably heard the term leaky gut, but leaky gut is essentially what happens when we have too much inflammation in our large intestine for too long, and the cells that are typically like this actually start to spread apart. And so things that typically wouldn't get through. So, you've got things like a lot of the food sensitivities that people have, and why we see people with more food sensitivities than ever before is because we actually have a lot more inflammation in our digestive tract because of the traditional diet and lifestyle issues. So one of the things that we see is there's great things that can actually help to kind of improve, kind of soothe the large intestine meridian, and then also to help to rebuild and repair. So, things like, for soothe, there's things like, deglycerized licorice, slippery elm, marshmallow root, all have a very calming effect for when we've, had damage in that large intestine meridian for a while. It can actually soothe that kind of mucous membrane in there and help to kind of heal that up and strengthen that up. And then also we can use amino acids like glutamine and minerals like zinc. Specifically, the zinc carnosine has actually been really shown to be very helpful for that as well too. So those are some of the things that we can kind of do to help in that area. Is first we want to try to knock down the bad bacteria, and then we also want to look at things that we can put back into the digestive tract that help to soothe and kind of heal up those tight junctions. So we just want to use those, and it's important to kind of do them in a systematic fashion. So you're actually trying to get the therapeutic outcome that you want. But a lot of times focusing on some of those things can actually help to relieve the inflammation in that meridian, and actually help to reduce the tightness, swelling, inflammation that we feel in the hamstring. So I hope you guys find this interesting. Keep watching on Mondays for more information, and have a good rest of the week.